Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today, here are 5 tips and tricks to get better at Sword Factory. First, we're going to be talking about AFKing. AFKing is really good in this game. It can help level you up, see how good I am with this, because AFKing in this game, if you were to stay in this game for a while, your swords would sell, which would give you XP. Also, you can stay upgrading swords, and swords can be upgraded forever, but every single time you upgrade it, it gets harder to upgrade. And how I AFK is I leave something on, and I turn on an auto clicker, so I don't AFK. Next, we'll be talking about upgrading swords. So, let's talk about upgrading. Here's some things you should upgrade for different things on your sword. Like, if you want damage on your sword, you should upgrade the class, like the ethereal part, the rarity, the godly plus part, the enchants, see the sharpness, the power, and the resistance, and the level. If you want cash on your sword, you should upgrade the rarity, the enchants, the mold, like the opal part, the quality, which is the exquisite part, and the level. And finally, if you want to have more health when you hold your sword, you should upgrade the class, the enchants, and the rarity. These are things that you can upgrade on your sword to make your sword better and to get better at the game. Now we'll be talking about banking, because a lot of people get confused on banking. What banking does is, if you leave the server and put a sword in here, it won't disappear. That's what makes banking really good. And when you sell an item, you see how right now it says incredible? Well, you see the different chances here. And where is incredible? Incredible is right here. 1 in 177,000. So if I go over here to the banking, see how it says 1 in 50 million? So that means it wouldn't bank that because it's under 50 million. Anything 50 million or above would be put in my bank. If I make a sword and it has a chance on it above 50 million, it would be put in my bank. But if it's below, it will be sold. And you can change it to however you want. Well, mostly however you want. So if I want to have incredible swords go in my bank, I would put it at 100,000 because it's above 100,000, 177,000. So any item above 1 in 100,000 would be put in my bank. Now, for our next tip, let's talk about bosses. See, there's 4 different islands, and see how there's the super, mega, ultra, and hyper? Well, the more of those that spawn at the same time, the more luckier it is. Here, I'll show you a picture of something. That's the chart for the different boss spawns. And when all 4 of these combine, when they all happen at the same time, then a quad, what they call a quad or quad stack, will happen where it has a really high chance. And we'll also talk about server luck. Server luck, if a quad happens and I have a server luck like this, that means the chance of it being a higher boss, and what that quad does is it makes it a high rarity, usually above unique minus. It depends, though, like I said, on the total server luck. People's levels, see how I have 2 people here, so it doesn't combine their levels, but what it does is it has different things, which I'll show you a chart here. And like when you combine all of those things, depending on their level, it has a higher server luck, which has more of a chance to spawn a better boss. And one more thing with bosses, I wouldn't recommend going in PvP areas or the Island of Neons or Shinies, because those bosses are really good. So a lot of people lose their swords there. So don't go to good islands like this without a good sword, because you will probably lose your sword and someone will take it. And that's what happens to a lot of people. So please, don't go to that place, and then unless you have a good sword, like over 100 billion damage. And for our final tip, we will be talking about sword levels. Sword levels are really good. So, you see how this is level 316? Well, the higher the sword level, the more, not only the more cash it has, the more damage it does too. And really high sword levels, like over here, I have a level 460. Even though it's a godly, it still would do more damage than this would do if it were only this level. So you see how level is really good. So, and here's another thing. People don't know this, but whoever is upgrading the sword, they can upgrade the level to whatever their level is here. See how it says level 316? That's how high they can upgrade the level on a sword. So if you ever need a sword leveled up high, and you can trust someone who's a high level like this, then they could upgrade the sword to whatever level it is. And it is really good to have a high level sword. Okay, thanks for watching these tips and tricks on how to get good at Sword Factory. See ya!